ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
I definitely thought, like, our house, like, it wasn't going to make it. Like, this is my last time seeing this house.
Yeah, neighbors telling us about the moment they had to evacuate because of the Willow Fire in Rancho San Diego. Winds fueled the flames, causing it to spread late last night. Helicopters making water drops overnight to try to keep homes safe. And fire crews now mopping up, but that fire danger not over. And you can hear them, the major Santa Ana wind event continuing, bringing the possibility to turn any spark into a major fire, and that wind causing some major damage already on top of that. Take a look at this, overturned semi-truck on the 8, and we have team coverage on the dramatic wind event in the effort to prevent any more fires. And good morning to you. Great to have you with us this morning. I'm Jim Patton. Virginia Cha, good morning to you. I bet you've been feeling the winds out there.
Absolutely, Jim. Good morning, you guys, on this Thursday. I want to get right to Megan Perry to talk about this. Megan, at times I can hear the wind just howling outside.
And you are not alone, Virginia. A lot of the county dealing with those very, very strong winds. I want to start with the Willow Fire and the current conditions there right now because things have improved, at least in this area right now. The closest reporting station we have is showing calmer winds, still very dry out there. But that is not the case everywhere. Carlsbad, we've seen gusts exceed 20 miles per hour right now. Alpine, we've been seeing gusts at about 70 miles per hour all morning long. Descanso at 54. Pine Valley gusting to 55 right now, just about as strong in Otay Mountain, rather. And Tierra del Sol gusting to 41. A high wind warning is in effect for the inland neighborhoods and the mountains until 6 p.m. for those very strong winds, though the worst of the winds are hitting right now. A wind advisory has been issued for the coastal communities because the winds are pretty gusty there as well. You can see our hour-by-hour wind gusts will be through the morning. They remain strong, not as strong, but still dangerous over the week or as we head into this afternoon. Temperatures in the 70s for most of the county today, and I will be pinpointing the red flag warning and where we've seen gusts over 90 miles per hour in just about 8 minutes. Jim?
Just listen to those winds. Dramatic video puts you right at the forefront of the chaos. The winds kicking up around San Diego. Our photojournalist Paul Anderegg in the 10 News Breaking News Tracker right there is CAL FIRE. They worked to desperately free 2 people and a dog from the cab of a big rig here. And this was just in the last hour along I-8 in Descanso. At least the second semi to be toppled along that stretch of freeway, and they are now shutting down the lanes and diverting them onto East Willows, though we understand the cones that they put out to divert the drivers, well, those have blown away. No one in that semi was seriously hurt. You see the dog there as well, appears to be okay. We're waiting for an update from CAL FIRE this morning. This is what we know so far about the Willow Fire in Rancho San Diego. Fire still 5% contained. The good news, crews have stopped it from spreading and now say they are in mop-up mode. All evacuations lifted. It's burned about 25 acres, and it did destroy 1 home. Our cameras were there as crews were dumping water onto the roof of the home. Flames bursting out from the top, and you see the sparks there moving on the ground with that very powerful wind. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell joining us live there this morning. And Marie, what's it looking like now as the sun is coming up?
Yeah, so Jim, it's been pretty active here all morning in terms of firefighters. We are on Wind River Road. Let me step out of the way and show you. You can see the extent of the damage now that the light is we can see more of it now. You can also see what looks like some smoke towards the back, and I know that some of the firefighters actually went towards the back to check that out. They have been out here all morning long making sure nothing starts up again, but we also have video from overnight that shows you the damage from the back end of this property, where you can see more of the charred remains showing what's left of their backyard. You saw a barbecue area and patio. Firefighters walking throughout the area, making sure there were no flare-ups. Now, overnight, you also saw what it was like for the crews as they worked to put out this fire. You could barely see anything because of the smoke, but what was clear were the flames. You can see just how windy it was as crews tried to get a handle of this fire. As of right now, CAL FIRE is reporting that only one structure has been damaged. And now back out here live, just to kind of give you a big picture of how close this fire got to other homes. You can see the houses right next door. They appear to be untouched. We did speak to one of the homeowners of one of these homes. She just got back from the evacuation center, and she said that she was just exhausted and just very happy to be able to be back inside of her home. We're live from Rancho San Diego. Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
Marie, thank you. No doubt lots of folks feeling pretty exhausted this morning. And even though fire crews say they are in the mop-up mode, they are still on guard in case the Willow Fire sparks back up with these Santa Ana winds. Let's get to ABC 10 News reporter Jared Aarons live in Rancho San Diego this morning. Good morning, Jared.
Good morning, Jim. We're live at the Cottonwood Golf Club, where is the command center for this fire. You can see behind me it's pretty empty. Just one CAL FIRE truck here because all the other trucks have gone out to look for those hot spots. And now that the sun is coming up, we can kind of make out on the mountain the big swath of charred ground. And even by my count, about 4 or 5 little orange embers that have popped up. Firefighters have been working to knock those down as quickly as they can before the wind can spread them any more. It is still blowing steadily, although not very strong. Firefighters want to make sure that these flames don't spark up again. That's what it looked like overnight as they were attacking this fire while it raged out of control. Helicopters dousing it with water, crews fighting the flames. Take a look at this, even a bulldozer driving through the flames to cut a line for protection. That was from our ABC 10 News breaking news tracker, getting that amazing footage. Hand crews were working to take out any dead plants that could act as fuel for the fire. And all the while, they were fighting this wind overnight. It was howling, threatening to spread this fire out of control. People who live here say they can't remember the last time a fire like this got this close to their house, and it made for a terrifying night.
We go outside and we see a whole bunch of red, and then he called me. He's like, yo, we got to evacuate. So I drove up the hill and I see all the neighbors going crazy. This neighbor behind me, you know, jumping in his car. I didn't think it was that bad, but then I just started seeing, it was just, the whole sky was orange. And I'm like, this is getting very bad. So that's when I thought we're in danger, then we just had to leave.
Now, looking at the mountain now, you can see where the fire raced, and it's kind of hard to get an idea of how big this fire was at its peak. So coming up in 30 minutes, we're going to give you a different perspective on this fire. We've got some footage from our helicopter up above that really lets you see just how bad it got. Again, that'll be in 30 minutes. Reporting live in Rancho San Diego, Jared Aarons, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Jared. Here's some encouraging news. The Sheriff's Department has cleared their closures, allowing residents who left under the evacuation orders to go back to their homes. Alerts did go out late last night as many East County residents were preparing for bed.
Our neighbors are like getting out and everything. They're frantic. We're trying to get to the other car to get like the masks and everything.
And this is something we don't typically see at an evacuation center, people wearing masks and staying in their cars. Of course, this was an extra safety measure to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Meanwhile, tens of thousands of San Diegans are without power right now. It was shut off as a precaution because of the fire risk brought on by those strong winds. Let's get to ABC 10 News reporter Vanessa Paz, who's live from home. Vanessa, it is an inconvenience, but certainly something that people take seriously.
Right, Virginia, prior to this event, about 100,000 SDG&E customers were warned that they could very well be without power over the next several days. And this morning, about a third of those customers are indeed waking up without electricity this Thursday morning. As we pull up the outage map and give you a look here, everything that you see highlighted in the red, those are the customers currently without power. And you can see this is spanning pretty widespread all the way north of Rainbow, east of County, and south of Chula Vista in the East Lake area. with cities like Escondido and San Marcos hit the hardest. And the estimated time on SDG&E's website says that power could be restored as late as the weekend. We do have a call into SDG&E with the accuracy of that information and that estimation. We're still waiting to hear back. But so far, we are also tracking a lot of the damage that is across the county. Earlier, we showed you a downed semi, and overnight, we got some video from our 10 News breaking news tracker of toppled palm trees in the Spring Valley area. We were told it wasn't affiliated with any of these power outages, but of course, just the fact that these winds could topple down palm trees gives you a pretty good idea of how strong these winds are. Now, again, coming up at 6:30, we will let you know some of the resource centers that SDG&E has listed for those who have lost power this morning that offer things like water and Wi-Fi and other essentials. That's all coming up in about half an hour or so. Again, we'll continue to track these outages and bring you the latest throughout the morning. Reporting live from home, Vanessa Paz, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Vanessa. We are also tracking another fire raging in Orange County. You are looking at the Bond Fire in the Silverado Canyon area. It started with a house fire late last night and has now burned 2,000 acres. Mandatory evacuations have been issued for Majeska Canyon and several other communities. Of course, we'll keep an eye on this as well and keep you posted. Stay up to date on the Willow Fire and everything going on in our own county and the dangerous weather conditions by just using our 10 News app. You can find it on Google Play and the App Store.